I'd like to call to order the regular meeting of the Madison Board of Education for December 17, 2013. At this time, would everyone stand for the pledge of allegiance? I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mrs. Jones, roll call, please.
Jacqueline Asbill. Here. Jay Fabian.
Yes, here.
Michelle Hayes. Yes. Rex Reichert.
Here.
Kelly Tromba.
Yes.
At this time, Board, if we could have a motion for tonight's agenda.
So approved. I'll second.
Mrs. Jones?
Jacqueline Asbill. Yes. Jay Fabian.
Yes.
Michelle Hayes. Yes. Rex Reichert.
Yes.
Kelly Tromba.
Yes.
Votes 5-0.
And I don't think we have any need for public participation on the agenda at this time.
Board reports.
Or board reports. I have it reversed.
You don't have any of those.
Okay. Well, if we move on to board reports, on behalf of the board, we want to wish everyone out there a safe holiday and a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And we hope everyone enjoys the holidays with their families and be safe. Anyone else?
Amen. Be safe.
I would just like to encourage people to send thoughts and prayers to two Perry High School students who were severely injured in a sled riding accident over the weekend. Please keep them in thoughts and prayers, and please be very careful when you're out having fun this winter.
Well said. Anyone else? All right, we're up to Mrs. Jones, I believe, reports and recommendations of the treasurer.
Okay, there's just one thing, to approve a transfer from the general fund to the debt service fund in the amount of $74,078.13.
So moved.
I'll second.
Comments, questions, discussion? Mrs. Jones?
Jacqueline Asbill.
Yes?
Jay Fabian.
Yes.
Michelle Hayes. Yes. Rex Reichert.
Yes.
Kelly Tromba.
Yes.
Votes 5-0.
And that's it?
That's it.
Thank you.
Wow. Moving along. Next guy's
And,
name.
moving on now to item 9, reports to administrative team, Mrs. Smith.
Well, I have several things in my report tonight. First, as you know, the schools have been a very busy place this time of year. Dr. Gowdy and I had a great time on Friday morning working with the kindergarten students at the South Elementary School making the gingerbread houses. It was so much fun, and the children and the parents were so cute and, you know, so proud of their work, and I think hyped up on a little bit of sugar because they get to eat what's in the bag as they're building the houses. But it was a fun morning. There was probably, I think, 200 people there with the kindergarten students building their gingerbread houses, so a lot of fun. This Thursday is the high school winter choir and band joint concert in the gymnasium here at 7 o'clock. That is always a highlight of the holiday season at the high school. They do a wonderful job with the program, and as Ms. Calhoun was just saying, they've got a lot of neat things planned. She just said that there was a drawing, they're going to have a drawing for a gift for a member of the audience, and her kids were just putting little bells and on their little drawing tickets. And tomorrow we have something special happening at the high school. Fox 8 News is coming out to do a story on being an inspirational school. And this centers around a lot about what happened at the end of the football season and how the team came together and the school community and the entire community for Ben Bruning. And so a reporter is going to be here about 10:30. If anybody wants to come and you know, speak on camera, feel more than welcome. I'm going to be over there. And they're going to have the band parade around the school, kind of like what they did with the Fox Cool School. And Ben is going to make it too. And one of the reasons why it waited till tomorrow is Ben last week had, I think, his halo removed, and so he's on the mend.
Good.
So
It was removed, and he's in neck brace. It was removed early, not that it was supposed to be. He was having a hard time with
yeah, that's what I had heard.
some of the hardware, but he is in neck brace and doing pretty well.
And I'm not sure of the air date at this time, but I'm sure we'll find that out tomorrow, and I will send it out in an email at the end of the week. One last item I do have for my report, just if I know you get OSBA updates and legislative updates. The state, both in the Senate and the House, have had education committees going on different bills. As Roger and I have both told you since the beginning of the year, expect changes on things. Well, on the teacher evaluation piece, we've got it on pretty reliable sources. They are going to change some things in that. The value-added piece that is at 50% now, student growth measures, is going to go down to 35% at some point in the next year. The other piece is the graduation requirements. They're still hashing those out. We do not have a definitive idea of what the graduation requirements and the new testing system is going to look like. But one of the things I did read is that the end of course exams may go to 2015-16 and not implement next year. So I will keep you posted as we get more information. But it is an evolving piece of legislation that I know is on the fast track because they have the OGT currently in place. We're at least going to do it again for next year. And of course exams looks like they may be 1 year out. So we'll keep you updated. And that is my report.
We'll change 3 or 4
Oh,
more
yeah.
times.
Oh yes, absolutely. That's why I didn't go through it with a fine-tooth comb saying, you know, it's in committee and has to go to the floor. And I'm sure there'll be times for testimony on it as well. And that's all I have in my report.
Okay, so any questions?
Got rid of Obamacare. I was hoping.
All right, back to you, Mrs. Smith, with the MEA agreement.
All right.
OPSI.
We bring forward for you tonight the MEA agreement ratification. The MEA ratified their our tentative agreement on December 12th, 2013 to replace the agreement that was ratified on August 7th, 2012. And we're asking that the board ratify this agreement tonight on December 17th, and it would go through August 15th, 2014. You also are authorizing the board to take any action to have legal counsel prepare any and all documents related to the agreement, and that it's in line with Ohio Revised Code.
So moved.
Second?
Comments, questions, discussion?
Just when we get a completed contract, could you get us a copy of it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'd like to say that it was, even though it was a long process, it was a very good process on both sides. I think we really did some good work working with the MEA to get this agreement. And I am, for one, thankful that we've got the agreement now because our teachers and administrators can begin the evaluation process, which I know they're very anxious to do.
And I too would like to thank the MEA for working hard, and you guys, of course, as an administrative team, because that's not easy. It's not easy stuff. I mean, it's to work through the process, and it opened up a lot more than what you guys were hoping to. But on the other hand, was able to come to some agreements and stuff. So thank you for the time and effort, because there's a lot to it.
There is.
A lot of gnashing of teeth and questioning things and working things out and the legality of things, and so thank you guys for all the efforts that you guys have put into it. That's really helpful, and the MEA, of course.
Yes.
Stepping forward and doing their part as well.
It was long
Thank you.
hours on both sides
It
too,
was.
Angela. I commend you guys. Thank you.
And anyone else? Mrs. Jones?
Jacqueline Asbill,
Yes.
Jay Fabian,
Yes.
Michelle Hayes,
Yes.
Rex Reiger,
Yes?
Kelly Tromba,
Yes.
votes 5-0.
And the OPSI agreement?
Okay. I'm bringing forward the OPSI agreement this evening. They too went through a process with us, and we are entering into, they approved their agreement on December 14th, and we're asking for ratification tonight for this agreement to run the term of July 1st, 2013 to June 30th, 2014, authorizing our board counsel to prepare all necessary documents to complete the bargaining process and to declare all matters dealing with OPSI adoption of this collective bargaining agreement between OPSI and the board made in open and public meetings pursuant to ORC 121.22.
So moved.
A second.
Comments, questions, discussion?
Also, it's, the schools can't operate without the OPC people doing their job and doing a good job. And so we appreciate the time and effort that they put in as well. To have clean buildings and you know, less staff that we have, they're working hard, and food services and secretarial and custodial and all that. Thank you. So, thank you guys for putting it together again.
And I would like to thank the OPC leadership as well. The process, again, we work very well together, and we have a very collaborative relationship. And of the last several years, because I've worked quite a bit with the classified side in my role as assistant superintendent, we have situations, not problems, and we come collaboratively together to solve them. So that makes for a good working environment for everybody.
Anyone else? Mrs. Jones?
Jacqueline Asbill,
Yes.
Jay Fabian,
Yes.
Michelle Hayes,
Yes.
Rex Reiger,
Yes.
Kelly Tromba,
Yes.
votes 5-0.
And still up, Mrs. Smith, with the recommendations of the superintendent.
Okay. We are asking for your approval tonight to enter into the following employment contracts for substitute teaching, beginning with David Sharvat and ending with Brittany Dees. We are asking the board to approve a one-time stipend of 0.5% for exempt classified employees effective July 1st, 2013. We are asking that then the board approve a 0.5% hourly rate increase for exempt classified employees effective December 1st, 2013, beginning with Laura Rosenkrantz and ending with Marty Brandt. We are asking the board to approve a salary increase of 0.5% for the following administrators effective December 1st, 2013, beginning with Katie Tomko and ending with Amy Markajon. The board is approving a 0.5% hourly rate increase for the following pre-K staff effective December 1st, beginning with Susan Huber and ending with Beth Rice. The board is approving a 0.5% hourly rate increase for the following latchkey staff effective December 1st, 2013, beginning with Teresa Collins and ending with Melanie Renicky.
So moved.
A second.
Comments, questions, discussion?
I just want to thank our employees for meeting us with, working through our financial hard times. They have gone several years now with no base rate increases whatsoever. And, we wish that we were in a financial position, the economy was in a position to allow us, to do more for our employees. It's not, and we need to be responsible to the taxpayers, but we do appreciate everything that the employees do to meet us and do their part.
And I would like to say that the increases here represent parallel things in the collective bargaining agreements that we just approved. So it's equal to, on the classified side, what the OPC people got, and on the administrative side, equal to the MEA.
And I too would like to thank the administration and the staff there too, because we, the board, gave them parameters in which to live within. Taxpayers have told us to live within our budget, and we told them to live within the budget. And so they had their parameters and to be able to work things out, and it looks like that is being accomplished, and that's not easy. Also, a lot of gnashing of teeth and a lot of all the way around, but it's hard. 0.5% is not a lot, but it's as much as, quote, we can afford and stay within the parameters and the budget that we've been given to work with. So.
I've worked in several districts in my career, and we have some of the finest employees in Madison on the teaching side, classified side, administrative side. It is a great community to be a part of.
Very good. Mrs. Jones?
Jacqueline Asbill,
Yes.
Jay Fabian,
Yes.
Michelle Hayes,
Yes.
Rex Reiger,
Yes.
Kelly Tromba,
Yes.
votes 5-0.
And board, now we're coming on item 13, board policy updates. Right now, we have quite a few issues on each one. One thing I was a little bit aware of, but we have to approve these at an organizational meeting. So we can handle this any way you want. We can go over each one and be introspective and make sure it's the way we want it. And unless someone else has a different idea of how we should handle this.
Well, we were emailed in advance. We not only looked at them prior to the last meeting, but also emailed them in advance. I don't need to go over anything in particular in here. But if someone else needs to, I respect that.
I'm happy with.
Well, I went through them and I'm sorry that I missed the last meeting because I had a prior engagement, but there's a lot of small little things and I'm not sure that we, all the board, possibly all understand the nuances of what can be. I mean, this is the list of all the changes and that type of thing. There's nothing outrageous, but on the other hand, I think that we probably should take a better look at some of the things, and we can do it now, or we can do it at a smaller meeting type of thing, or we'd like to have them approved for the organizational meeting, but the organizational meeting, we're approving what's been passed in the past, and these don't have to be done. Now, they should be done. I have no question about it. I'm not trying to postpone anything with that, but I don't see a quote have to, except that we need to have our stuff current. So there were some options, and that's kind of where what they asked us to do is look at some of the options of shall we do this or may we do this, and should we take it to the board level or should just leave it at the superintendent's level, to make some decisions, and so.
Right, and we did go over that at the last meeting.
Well, I asked that, and I got, well, they didn't really talk about anything or give Susan any direction on it. I go, okay, it didn't even sound like he talked about it. I wasn't there. Okay, but so that was the information that I received. You guys really hadn't covered much. Okay, maybe you did.
We determined that we should always defer to, shall, or no,
May.
Sorry, I'm saying that backwards.
Mhm.
We defer to may instead of shall. And there were a couple things in particular that we pulled out and discussed, but then we had asked anything that is a legal update that the verbiage has to change just to keep us current.
Yeah.
That's one thing, that's just a routine, we just need to get them on the books.
Yep.
If there are certain ones that fall outside of that, if those could be pulled out separately so that we can go over those, if the case may be, instead of lumping them all together, because some are just housekeeping, some may be a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and there's a couple areas in there where we had to choose whether or not superintendent's decision was final, or if they had an option to appeal to the board. We chose to appeal to the board.
Right. And that Rex shared that with me. And
We did talk about it for like a half an hour. I mean, we went over all of our questions.
Well, that's kind of what I was trying to get
It
a
was
feel
after the
for.
meeting.
Trying to get a feel for, and I didn't get any feedback on it, so I didn't know how much you went through it and how much you didn't. So.
I don't think we had any, we did send it to our lawyers and there wasn't
Right.
any legal issues.
No, and this is the recommended group by our attorneys, so.
Did you have anything specific that you'd like to, we don't have to go over everyone, but if he has a question on some.
Absolutely.
Let me just real quick, Karen, just kind of.
Real quick is not necessary, we have the time.
There's no rush.
No, I know. But see if there's anything that jumps out at me that
And I think with some of these policies are pretty repetitive. What they did in Neola is they added an administrative layer. It used to be professional staff, classified staff. And so they added an administration layer. So they needed to duplicate some of the policies that we already had regarding things like FMLA, harassment, and those types of things.
Just a quick question. Why did we go with the? I'm looking at the FMLA one. This is 1630, page 2. And it's a 12-month period question.
That's what we currently do. That is what, since we have been, since Mike's been on board as treasurer, he and Shauna have done a great job with cleaning up our FMLA procedures, and we needed to pick a date and time, and that is mirroring what we currently do.
Okay, so that's what we're currently doing, so, okay.
So for the rest of the board, could you just review that for us? At 16:30, right?
1630 or .01, page 2 of 15.
2 of 15.
At the bottom here. At the bottom down here.
We're taking off.
You have a choice as to what period the 12-month period is defined for FMLA. Calendar year, a fixed 12-month period, which is leave year identical to all staff members. The 12-month period being measured forward from the date of the staff member's first FMLA leave and specific to each individual staff member, and then a rolling 12-month period measured backward from the date of the staff member's use of FMLA leave. And we did, when Mike came on board, I don't know if you were here at that, we were at that point, we had our attorney come in and do an FMLA workshop for us, and he recommended that.
Okay, okay, that's good. Some of this I had marked before, but reading through the things you sent out yesterday, that, you know, I see where that was selected or corrected or whatever.
Right now, we've all received these board policies, for those people that don't know, that some time ago, and the board has time to review them, at least in one meeting for sure, and then we received them to go over again. So right now, we're doing our final review, so this may take a little time, but it's best to get all the questions out on the table now.
It's better now than have another meeting, and, you know, so it'll take just a couple of weeks.
Bless you. Rex, what is the deadline to have?
Well, we'd like to approve our board policy at the organization meeting in January.
Okay.
So I think we ought to take the time now. We have a little musical background to do this with. So.
I'm looking at under 1662, policy 1662, page 9 of the 19, and it's the question of who the anti-harassment compliance policies and where it should be. My suggestion is it was page 9 of 19.
My page is numbered.
And you guys marked the parent and student handbook and the website and the school district calendar. The only suggestion I would have is, and I know that this is difficult, but even in my own business, many times it's better to have one place that's referenced to, so you only have to change it in one place. If you change, you know, people or change this, always reference back to this particular site. You know, have a single point that everything is, you know, goes off of that, whether it's a calendar or whether it's a person's name or that type of thing. So the website and the handbooks may say, look at this policy or look at this particular source. Okay, and this. So that is the quote, the Bible. That one point you may all point back to the policy, which may be, you know, now that we're going to have the policy online, people can go back and look at that particular area and find out. Okay.
Yeah, I would not, I personally wouldn't agree with that. I think that we should have it posted as many places.
Oh, I agree. But the problem is that it doesn't get changed everywhere. Okay? Right now, you go into our website and look at under construction, and it says that we're putting out for bid May 13th of 2013 for for the recreation stuff. Well, it's not current. May 13th is behind us, and we've already built the buildings and that type of thing. So the website's not current. So all of a sudden, if people see something's not current on something, they're going to go, "Is this current too?" So kind of whether there's a hyperlink type of thing that can happen, or whether there's it's say currently the person's name is this, but it could change, and here's where the in case you're running on the block and Jay's not here any longer, then who is it?
I understand what you're saying, and I think it's a good point to have on the website, have a hyperlink to the policy instead of having it posted as verbiage somewhere on our website, because we don't have our communications person anymore,
Right.
so keeping things current on the website is a huge challenge.
Very difficult.
So, but to take it one step further, I don't agree with only having it there, because if you look at our demographic and the number of people who don't have access to the internet, I'd like to shy away from only putting things on the website, and we have to redo the handbook and the calendar every year anyway.
Right.
So I have to look at those things through the editing process anyway. But on the
Right.
website, I do think it should be a hyperlink to the policies that
I
are
agree.
written instead of.
And we could do that.
Right. I'm not trying to take the information away. I just want to keep it current as well as people can. It's difficult. It's difficult.
It is difficult to keep, you were right,
I mean, this is a big place, So, okay, so not trying to make a big deal, but that would be
Well, I
helpful.
think anything we have that's written, or we can actually say as effective as of this date, but subject to change.
Well,
And we can
do
but
that.
where's it changed at?
But, and then refer to the
There
website,
you
Right.
go. Or refer to
to
something.
the link on the website.
Yeah, refer to something.
Right.
Whatever that is. Okay. We had a little bit of a conversation about whether it should stop at the superintendent. This is under the same policy, 1662, but this is page 15 of 19. And I had marked down that stop it at the superintendent's level. And then you guys just got through talking about that you'd like to see it come all the way to the board.
let me
What's
give
the
you the
explanation?
rationale there is that one of the changes in this policy is they want a male and a female
Yeah.
compliance officer.
Mhm.
So superintendent, assistant superintendent at the current time would be that. So if somebody did not, let's say I didn't hear it, but the superintendent did, typically I hear most levels of the harassment. If there's a harassment complaint, but let's say I didn't hear one and it went to him, it's giving people one more avenue of appeal before a decision is final. So Roger and I both thought that in this case, because these cases are such of sensitive nature, that it was in the best interest of everybody to have one more avenue of hearing.
As Rex and I, talked a little bit today, and the downside to that is that sometimes you can be bringing in, extra meetings and/or extra attorney fees and stuff that may not need to happen, even though you're given the right to do that. There's always ways of taking it to the next level anyhow. So I don't know that, at $300 an hour attorneys, you're on the phone for an hour, 2 hours, 5 hours, or whatever, they have to drive out here or whatever. We hire the professional, the superintendent, to handle a lot of these things. Now, unless it's truly the superintendent they have trouble with.
Well, I feel like the community votes us in these positions, and I feel like if something, if their child were to be being harassed or whatever the situation is, I feel like they, as parents, as members of the community that put us in these seats, they should have a right to come talk to us about it if, I feel like they have a right to be heard by the people that they elected to make these decisions.
And I would agree with
Is
that.
that the same thing for coaching decisions too? Okay. But I mean, it can be taken to a level that they can even be questioning that. At some point, somebody's got to say, okay, this is a coach's decision, this is a superintendent's decision.
That's happened, and we've heard those people out, and,
I'm okay with it. I'll go with the board's mission.
Well, Angela was saying that her and Roger will be the compliance officers, so actually eliminate a level. If we just go to the superintendent, it's actually being redundant, so let's go to a level of a different group. We are voted in by the people, so
Yeah,
it all fits in.
that's fine.
If they weren't the compliance officers, maybe that would be a little different, but I think the board has a flavor that they are elected by the community and
Yeah.
they want to be the last resort.
Okay, that's
Is that
just
correct?
what my thought was. I'm not saying that I'm digging my heels in or
Okay.
anything like that. I'm
Right.
just, I needed to know the dynamics of it. Okay.
Rex, can I mention an observation while Jay's looking
Sure.
at the policies? We have come to several weekend basketball games here to see my daughter play, and I just want to let everyone know how hard Tracy at the high school is working to clear the walkways and the areas the people are coming into the cafeteria and the gym to see these games. She's working on Saturdays to clear all the snow and the ice, and she is just wonderful.
You know, that goes a long
Her
way.
hard work is paying off, and people do notice.
I don't know if you remember the board meeting where we had the visitor come and said that the one custodian was so helpful. It was Tracy.
I knew it.
And she has really stepped up into the head night custodian role and is doing a fantastic job. And we're very appreciative of it.
Yeah, isn't there some contract of how far, as far as snow plow, how far the maintenance goes to the building?
No, it's not. I just went through the OPSI contract. I did not see
Okay.
it, so
For the folklore.
that is folklore.
She has her leaf blower when the leaves are out there, and she has her snow blower, and it is
That's-
unbelievable. She's doing it all by herself, and I think she's great.
I'm gonna go ahead and make a motion on the policies.
I mean, a second.
Anyone else on this? One thing I do have to say is that, it is online now and we are up to date as opposed to the old days of trying to find something. At least I believe that we can find something fairly readily on situations that come up. And the public can too. You can go online to our website, right? Or check with the board office and it's right there in front of them. In the old days, I hate to say it, but it's kind of hieroglyphics as far as finding something.
And even as we approve these, if we come across a policy that for some reason we are uncomfortable with or we feel it needs to be updated, we can revisit it at that time.
Right, you can always bring it forward for another reading, and we will, I think, get another update in January. Because as I told you earlier, the legislature's changing things daily, so we will have many more updates before June, I think.
Anyone else? Mrs. Jones?
Jacqueline Asville,
Yes.
Jay Fabian,
Yes.
Michelle Hayes,
Yes.
Rex Reiger,
Yes.
Kelly Tromba,
Yes.
vote is 5-0.
And the public library, Mrs. Smith?
The public library is asking for your approval tonight to reappoint Ms. Stacy Dom as member of the Madison Public Library Board of Trustees effective January 1st, 2014 through January 1st, 2021.
Stacy Dane.
Dame,
So moved.
sorry.
I'll second.
Mrs. Jones?
Jacqueline Asville,
Yes.
Jay Fabian,
Yes.
Michelle Hayes,
Yes.
Rex Reiger,
Yes.
Kelly Tromba,
Yes.
vote is 5-0.
You're really getting a groove on out there.
We have nothing on the consent calendar tonight, so there is no need for action.
And do we have anyone for the public who wants to speak to the board this time? And do we have a need for executive session?
No need for executive session this evening.
Therefore, wrapping up the year 2013, do we have a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
I'll second.
Mrs. Jones?
Jacqueline Asville,
Yes.
Jay Fabian,
Yes.
Michelle Hayes,
Yes.
Rex Reiger,
Yes.
Kelly Tromba,
Yes.
vote is 5-0.
get your agenda signed up here by anyone and have a great day, great weekend, great holiday.
Merry Christmas.
Very Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays.
Oh, oh, oh.